Can you trust AI? Can you trust what you read and see on the internet in general? Not just AI, just anything. Is it lying to you on purpose or is just too much information? So these days, with technology getting into all our lives, and it's all aspects of our lives, it's everywhere. It's on the phone, it's on the computer. Uh, People don't really have a reliable way to verify, is that true what they see or hear, or it's not. Plus it changes all the time, so it's like you look at it in the morning, then you look at it an hour later, it's just a different news. And with AI, it's just getting more and more weird because AI feels like you having a friend and you having a conversation with a human being. So that is going to be one of the most interesting areas in technology and in human life. Just remember, it's not new. We had this story. Remember how people evolved, right? So you first had a narrative before the writing started. So people would just tell the stories, they would remember stories and etc. etc. Then the writing was invented, the alphabets, and people started to write things down. And as they wrote and rewrote, they distorted a bit here and there. But there were some universally accepted frameworks, if you will. And like a few trusted sources, because the sources were very few. So then it progressed and progressed and progressed, and then we arrived at the current stage when you have social networks, you have mass media, you have electronic media. It was an era of fair journalism, as we would like to say it, or the professional journalists that would tell the truth, that would reveal some hidden conspiracies and whatnot. So they were reliable golden standards on how information was presented, fact checked, disseminated. The Wall Street journals, New York Timeses of the world, the CNN at the beginning, and that was the thing. I will probably give you a more detailed explanation of why it was and which forces actually made journalists and media be kind of honest, forthcoming, objective, etc., etc. But that's for the different conversation. Today, with technology developing the way it is, it's very difficult to kind of trust it. And it's not only about people, like enterprises, when they deploy AI, like how do they know what it's telling them is the truth? You don't. If you ask AI to create you a budget for next year, it may hallucinate. It will create you some very interesting budget, but it's unrealistic or not grounded in reality. So how do you know? I will leave corporate conversation to later videos, but like what about people? What about you? Especially younger people. Why younger? Not because I'm a father of four and I genuinely care, but because the younger people, they grew up with technology. So they have this inherent trust relationship with it. So it's native to them. They trust the box. To me, phone, it's a tool. It's not my friend. I know that whatever it tells me may or may not be true. So I'm trained to be triangulating the knowledge. It's a bit of the training that you get growing up when I grew up. But what about younger folks? How do you know? What can you do? First, I'll give you three very simple rules on information hygiene these days. First, never trust your first emotion. Remember one very simple thing. If the bit of news that you see or hear is targeting to get your emotion, it's a shock content, it's the clickbait, it's some like a horrible picture or a beautiful picture, whatever, but it appeals to your emotion, it's most likely objective is to manipulate you. I'm not saying for the evil intent or for the good intent. I'm telling you like how mechanically it works. If it targets your emotion, it's manipulation. Most likely manipulation. And believe me, people who do that professionally are really good at what they do. They'll get to you. That's first. Second, never react immediately. Give yourself time. The whole thing is rigged to you to get your immediate reaction, immediate emotion, instant gratification. I liked, I disliked, I posted, how could you do that? Oh, look at how great it is. I reposted, did this, that. It doesn't have any impact really. It just gets you into the state when you have this emotional, you're on an emotional swing set. You happy and you sad, you happy and you sad. So it just basically destabilizes you in a way. So that's the first. Again, if it's targeted at your emotions, most likely manipulation. Second, don't react instantly. Get yourself some time to think, read some more. And that's connect to the third advice. Multiple sources. Become your own fact checker. I know it's boring and uninteresting, but that's the only way to stay sane in this world. Because every news has an agenda, every news outlet has an agenda. Everyone who posts online, most of the time, people who are building a business on it, they build it in business. It's a business, it's about money. So they have vested interest in it. So that's, you need to go and fact check. Go check diverse sources. You love diversity, right? It's great. Great. Diversity applies to knowledge as well. Go check what others are saying. Check multiple sources. Not the sources from the same outlet. Not like yet another journalist from the same news or media outlet. Go find someone who has a different opinion. I'm not telling you to trust one or the other. Just collect more than one. And remember, laws of physics, economics, nature, they are objective. So are the laws of history. They are objective. It means that they do not depend on an opinion of certain person telling you how that is. So again, 3 simple rules. Understand that if it's targeting your emotion, it's most likely manipulation. Second, don't react instantly. Third, fact check. Be your own fact checker, and then you will start to see what sources do you trust. And remember, the fact that you may like something doesn't make it correct or real. I like many things, but I understand that they may not be real or correct or accurate. I would love to hear people who agree with me, because I'm a human, that's the human nature. But I understand that the fact that they agree with me doesn't make them or me right. Why do you need all this? You can say, well, I'm having fun, I'm a great guy, you just don't know, you're old, etc., etc. The problem is that if you do not do things that I just told you, you will get into a situation when you are living in unreal world. You will build a world which isn't connected to reality. You will be in your bubble. And when that world collides with real one, you'll be frustrated. You'll be depressed. What is depression? It's like when our expectations don't meet the reality. What is the best way to not have it? Live in reality. So that's what my today's message is. Get real, be in reality, understand how the world works, understand how the real world works, understand why people tell you what they do. It doesn't mean that you need to call them out on it or start taking to the streets and scream about it. No, just understand what is going on. That's where you start. I'll see you later. Bye.